The future of the LCS is being decided and is evolving in front of our very eyes. And there's been a lot of news over the last week about what next year is going to look like, in addition to the information that we already know, as well as some discussion around the general ecosystem and who really has the power nowadays. So since we have a week off and the LCS is only doing a show match this weekend, let's dive into everything around what's going to happen next year, as well as what you as a fan can do to best position yourself to actually make a decision in the scene. Massive editing note mid-video here. Chris Greeley, who works within Riot Global, has come out and said directly that MSI next year will not be held in the Middle East, which means it will not be at Esports World Cup, as that event will always be in Ridya. So North America is back on the potential slate to have MSI next year, which is massive, and a massive thank God, if I'm being entirely honest. And the fact that this is a worry in the first place kind of sucks, but it also does damage Monte Cristo's credibility whenever it comes to these inside rumors and leaks. So yeah, there we are. I'm just freaking happy, man. Anyways, back to the video. Let's have a quick chat about LCS content specifically, because a headline popped up on Reddit the other week that NRG was apparently view-botting their YouTube channel. And that is one of the things that I was most excited for whenever NRG came into the league, was like, okay, you know, they're really good at making content. That should flow over into League of Legends, right? And their YouTube channel was getting numbers, but then you look at the comments, and the comments are barren for the amount of views and likes that some of these videos have. It's really weird. It's disappointing. But the bigger question is, how is content across all of the orgs in the LCS? Well, I went and did some digging. Specifically, I got the viewership data for every single YouTube video that every LCS team has put out this entire year, categorized it, and what you're seeing over here is the result. Let's start with the big headline. Viewership, the one that everybody's obviously going to talk about. The two types of content that have been most familiar to people here in the league scene have been the docu-series as well as voice-com videos. And believe me, every team, as you can see, puts out voice-com videos. I can't say they're really for me, but they do numbers for almost everybody. Fortunately not Shopify, but they're new around here, so I'm willing to cut them some slack. Docu-series content for the teams that are still doing it, and I exclude like vlog stuff. Like this is specifically, like, you can tell the difference between like a vlog video and a documentary series video. The Heist in 100 Thieves, Team Liquid has their Squad series. Like that's different than just like a day-to-day vlog that like Immortals and crew have done. The docu-series aren't bad. All of them hitting 5-figure viewership for each org that does them, which is just Team Liquid, Cloud9, and 100 Thieves. Vlog content, not as good at all. If you factor out NRG, who has that really overinflated 67K video, yeah, it ain't great. But the area that I wanted to see most from orgs, and I wanted to see them kind of push the envelope on, was entertainment. Like, I don't want to just see players doing the things that they do every day. I want their personality to shine through and put them in situations that are beyond just League of Legends. That way, you know, we can get a sense of who they are, and you can kind of like let it evolve. That's what the Optic formula has done really, really well. And for Team Liquid, that has worked insanely well. They have done cut style videos. They've done like pro versus Joe type stuff. It has been great. And their viewership, especially in spring, they haven't done as much in summer, but we're very early on in summer, has been really good. I mean, what, 125,000 average? That's insane. And yes, it's not actually view botting, because when you look at the comments, there's actually some active discussion going on in there. The likes in the comment section make sense. If they are paying for views, then, you know, they masked it a lot better than NRG, but I doubt it. But everybody else, man, it ain't working. Immortals specifically, those numbers are just abysmal. Like, they're, bluntly put, they're terrible. Like, absolutely terrible, which means that the content that they're making, like, I'll tell you right now, they are making stuff that like is trying to showcase off the players, but it still keeps it such within like the silo of their players that like if you don't know about their players, you have no reason to tune in, or it won't get picked up in the algorithm otherwise. I hate to say it, but you kind of have to leech on to the bigger orgs and at least like mention them in some way, find a way to keep it relevant. That way there's like that clickbait moment that can get it within the algorithm, and then you watch for the rest of it. But like they're not doing any of that. I'm not saying that I know all when it comes to content, but at least my numbers on this channel kind of speak for themselves at this point. Am I leeching off everybody else? Yeah, I'm a discussion person. That's kind of what I do. Speaking of which, podcast content does incredibly well. Cloud9's really the only one that does it consistently, and I wish more teams would. The final bit that I want to go over is conversion, which is how many views you're getting, or average views you're getting relative to the subscribers that you have. For most people, like at least myself speaking, like 95% of people that view my content aren't subscribers, which fine, I'm not doing the best job of, getting them to subscribe, but you would want to see that ratio then as well with all of these other channels, and in theory that would help them out. But no, only 3 orgs have a ratio that is above, or like their average view count is higher than their amount of subscribers, and that is Team Liquid, NRG. I'm excluding them because of the botting. Their recent videos are trash in terms of the numbers. And then FlyQuest. And FlyQuest, a lot of that being due to LS and his patch note videos, which really kind of carry the weight of that org's content, at least in terms of the average number. So what is the takeaway from all this? Well, the takeaway is simply that, one, Team Liquid's doing a phenomenal job of content. Everybody else needs to step it up a bit and really lean into that entertainment style more, but not just like Immortals entertainment style, but like something that actually catches on to the wider algorithm. But also the use of content creators. Like, I really want to commend Cloud9 because how they've been using Meteos in their content has been incredible. They have him for the podcast. He's obviously on the dive, so he's cross-pollinating with the general league community and then bringing people into Cloud9 and kind of being that representative and spokesperson of the org. And it's not really something you see with any of the other teams. And it's weird to me. There are tons of creators out there that would be that would do a good job of representing your brand and content and being that through line through every video, or at least, a majority of them, to the point where, like, even when rosters change, you can still look at that content creator and be like, yeah, this is the voice of the fan within the org, and you don't really get that impression right now. It's something that Optic, I will keep using them as the example. Optic Hitch, phenomenal guy that just is the embodiment of all of that. But YouTube content obviously isn't where the majority of kind of culture within League of Legends lies at this moment, and that is with co-streaming. And Sheep Esports actually just put out an amazing article talking about the LEC specifically and the percentage of people that are watching co-streams versus the main broadcast. And it states the obvious that we've known for a while, which is viewership is slowly shifting over towards co-streams and away from the main broadcast as people embrace their personalities and the people within the org rather than just watching the main thing, which is going to hurt LoL Esports long term because you are going to lose out on sponsorship dollars. Nobody wants to sponsor the main broadcast whenever they could just go pay for Kadril themselves. Riot doesn't want to lose Kadril, obviously, so they'll let him take his own deals, assuming they also want him to be like affiliated with Fnatic, but he can still get deals through that. So that then forces Riot to have to shift their revenue model, which they are currently doing, to actually selling in-game goods directly to consumers rather than selling their eyeballs, because their eyeballs are other places. And the thing is, like, in Europe, obviously this is working incredibly well, but in North America, we are not utilizing co-streamers all that well. And it's not because I think that, like, the current set of co-streamers are, like, doing everything they can. I mean, let's be honest, they really don't. Our current set of co-streamers do not care about the orgs as much as the LEC people do. When you look and directly compare our top few, Dom, LS, Doublelift, Meteos. Sure, LS is FlyQuest, but I'm sorry, like, when you think about LS, you think of him as like T1 before anything else. You think of him as LCK before you think of him as FlyQuest. When you think about Doublelift, you currently don't think of anybody. Meteos, definitely Cloud9, but then I will dominate, obviously nobody. When you think about Europe, Kadril is Fnatic, and Kadril is like Europe as a whole, but then you also have Abai, who obviously is going to be with Mad Lions Koi. You have Kometo, who obviously is with K-Corp. Like, you have these people that are massive spokespeople for each individual team, and the fandom can latch on to that. But in North America, we don't do a good job of cultivating up-and-coming co-streamer talent. I'm going to get copyright striked if they keep playing Taylor Swift that loud. Anyways, all this to say, I think North American orgs are honestly failing at recognizing upcoming content creators and talent, because at the end of the day, most of these orgs, you simply are kind of a talent agency in a way. You bring people together both on the Rift and off the Rift to try and help promote entertainment products, get sponsorships, and go from there. And we're at the point now where the people that you sign as content creators and the people that can co-stream games and feature in your content and drive value for your brand are arguably just as important as the roster that you're going to put together on a Rift, because winning doesn't mean all that much anymore if nobody's watching. I just talked about in the 100 Thieves video, it was Nadeshot who said it, that they haven't seen an increase in VCT skin bundle sales in game after they popped off and split 2 of the VCT. So yeah, clearly, I'm sorry, but like, winning should lead to something. That to me then screams that you're not doing a good job of cultivating a fan base underneath all of the attention that you're getting there. People are watching, but they're not committing. Maybe that's because you're not relatable. Maybe that's because you don't have like the people that can help bring them into 100 Thieves long term, where people just don't buy that connection. But for LCS orgs, I mean, same thing. Like right now, Solo is trying to co-stream with Immortals. Do I get the impression that Solo is like an Immortals guy? Maybe. And maybe they can cultivate him as an upcoming personality. But I want to see all orgs do that. I want to see Team Liquid pick up somebody that can actually speak for the fan base, because Brock's he's on the LEC broadcast. Like, you can say he's a Team Liquid fan, but like, who within Team Liquid actually embraces North American fan? I don't know. Waiting on this Chim-Chim, to be honest. Cloud9 obviously has Meteor, so that's great. 100 Thieves, really nobody right now. But this is the portion that I'm waiting to see pop off as time goes on. I'm waiting to see when North American orgs understand that your content creator route now is going to be the important part that you need to develop if you want to see fandom growth. Time for us to move. Will they get there? I don't know. We will see. But this offseason, regardless of what teams sign what players and what two teams leave versus, who else stays, my eyes are all on the content creators, because as co-streaming continues to rise, you will eventually see some new names and new faces take over the North American scene. So if you're a fan of the LCS and a fan of North American League of Legends, start making some damn content, because you could potentially be the future of this region. And if I'm able to do all this with a $100 microphone and my phone, you can do it too. Anyways, that's it for me. I will catch you all in the next video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the way to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I will catch you all in the next episode of The Pit, where we will actually talk about LCS action, because there will be stuff to talk about. See ya.